Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Nimergood. I am the host of the Real Estate Rockstars Podcast. I am so excited to be here today. We have another amazing guest, Mr. Raj Khedun. Today's guest, Raj Khedun, is an innovative wellness advocate and product developer based in London. Raj is the originator of the revolutionary 3 to 3 Insomnia Hack, a technique helping people fall asleep in just 30 to 90 seconds. Got to see it to believe it, but you'll see. He's also a relationship coach with Get the Guy, a manager at Kung Fu Kingdom and Keep Fit Kingdom, and a founding member of the Avatar DNA Mastermind Network. Raj's mission is to create 1,000 plus millionaires so they can live financially free and give back to causes of their choosing. Isn't that why we all live, right? With expertise in fitness, personal development, and holistic health, Raj brings a unique perspective on unlocking human potential. We're excited to dive into his journey and insights today. It's without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Raj Khedun to the show. Welcome, Raj.
Wow, thank you, Justin. Wow, that was such a beautiful introduction. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I'm looking forward to
You're
it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome, sir. We're thrilled to have you on the show today. We have such a variety of guests that come on, and I have to be honest, it's such a pleasure having guests from all different walks and sects of life, right? We don't just bring on just typical agents and contractors and whatnot serving the industry. We bring on folks like yourself that are quite candidly groundbreaking. They're doing some groundbreaking things. You're doing some absolutely groundbreaking, earth-shattering things right now. I know I shared just a little bit about you, but in your own words, who's Raj? And could you just share some of the really neat, projects that you have going on right now?
Okay, Justin, I'll give you some of my Genesis backstory, right?
Okay.
And it's a little bit outside the box, so I just hope people will just bear with it because it's very colorful. It seems much larger than you would expect, because it all hinges on what I believe we all as children wanted when we were kids. Like we all had dreams, I believe, when we were children.
Mm-hmm.
We always wanted to do something amazing, something, you know, earth changing, something heroic, something significant, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We all had dreams like that, to be a doctor, to be a nurse, to be a president, to be an astronaut, to be a great physicist or nuclear something like something great. Because we all dream in color. We don't dream in black and white. I think we have dreams that are
Absolutely.
full of color. They're not black and white. Kids aren't born depressed. They're usually full of energy and joy.
Mm-hmm.
So my backstory comes because I stuck to my dreams. I didn't let them fade away, even though they almost did. You know,
Mm.
so it all started when I was 3 years old, and my mother takes me to nursery or kindergarten in London, where I was born. 3 years old, we enroll. We look at the playground, look at the classrooms, and then we end up in the library. And for whatever reason, I just got magnetized towards two books. I picked up the bookshelf. The first books I ever picked up in my life was one about dinosaurs and one about planets, right?
Mm.
And the images on these books stayed so deeply imprinted on my mind. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And those images, believe it or not, have guided me more than my entire education.
Wow. Wow. And
Yeah.
and what do you attribute that to? I mean, is it just because that's how we're wired, or I mean, please do share more.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing about dinosaurs, why was I so fascinated by it? It's because of the idea of evolution. For example, how does a crocodile move towards being more sentient, more feeling, more expressive, more communicative, more intelligent? They move towards becoming a dog, and then, a dolphin, and an elephant, and they work more and more cooperatively the more intelligent they get, right? And I used to think, like, how
Mhm.
does that happen? Where is that evolutionary chain of consciousness of development? Where is it? And can humans do it for themselves and evolve their own brains and expand
Right.
and learn? And of course, the answer is yes, if you're willing to commit to that
Uh,
discipline and consistent daily practice. So that's where the evolutionary idea with the dinosaurs came in. And the planets thing was, okay, you have all these beautiful planets. You've got Jupiter spinning at 47,000 kilometers per hour. You've got Saturn, beautiful rings. You've got Venus. You've got Mercury. You've got Mars. And you can go on Mars on YouTube. You can go and look at what Mars is looking like with all the robots they've got there. And on Mars, you can see the sky is red, the ground is red rock, but there's no plants, there's no
mhm,
water, there's no skeletal dinosaur remains of any kind. So here I'm thinking, as a kid, like,
mhm,
why is there an empty planet? Why is there an empty planet in the solar system, whereas Earth, right next to it, is full of life? You can't get away from life on Earth. There's 8 billion people, and then all the animals and all the fruits and vegetation and forests and nuts and seeds and everything that is on Earth, right? So why is
mhm.
an empty planet? Why is there an empty planet there? Like in real estate, you say it's like empty real estate. Like, couldn't you build on that? And that's obviously what Elon Musk is trying to do, right? So, so
Right.
yeah. Then I started thinking, okay, why are these planets? They spin fast. They have all these energies. How are they affecting humans? What is the interplay of forces going on here, right? So these were the kind of
Mhm.
questions I was having as a kid. So I hope that helps give you a bit of a backstory.
Yeah, I mean, and as a kid, I mean, at that young, tender age, as they'd say, like to think in that way, it's like they say, some people are always predestined for something, and it just seems like, someone like yourself, especially the space that you're in now today,
Mm,
certainly um, predestined, to go down this path that you've certainly gone down for the last several years. So.
yeah.
Um, Now I know you're not just a universal philosopher per se and a dinosaur lover, right? You're also a product developer. Share, if you wouldn't mind, share a little bit about the product that you've developed, or that and you've developed for the last what 7 years, I think.
That's right. That's right. So I have to preface this with another story. Um,
Perfect.
Again, a bit larger than life, and I hope people can resonate with this to some extent because it was just I never expected that to happen in my life. I was 18 years old, and I went to India for the first time. When anyone hears the word India, yoga, Steve Jobs, he was very connected with the philosophy and science of India. It's how he developed a lot of his Apple products and ideas about how to market it, sell it to people. So I was a very obnoxious, arrogant person, 18-year-old. I was rude. Why? Because I came from London, a materialistic society, and I thought I knew stuff because I read books from school, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I had everything. I didn't have to work hard. Everything was given to me. So I was pretty rude, and I didn't really appreciate the finer things of life. So I go to India and I meet an avatar. So if you're familiar with the concept of Avatar, like from James
Okay.
Cameron's film Avatar, right?
Yes.
And then also Netflix, The Last Airbender, Avatar, The Last
Right.
Airbender on Netflix. There's shape shifting and all these powers, right? All these crazy powers and control over the elements and all this stuff. I thought that was all nonsense, right? Until I went to India and I met a full blown Avatar,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. And I was like, what is this? Like, this can't be real. This cannot be real. It doesn't conform to my Western upbringing because we're rational, we're scientific, right? This is crazy stuff. What's this? And he says, you know what he says to me? He says to me,
What?
son. He addresses me as son, right? Right, son. He says, listen, I know why you're here. I'm the one who inspired you to pick up those books as a 3-year-old on the bookshelf because of what you know and what you're going to do in the world. I'm the one who brought you here. You don't even know why you're here. And I was like, oh my God, no way. You were watching me the whole time.
Yeah.
All these years. Yeah,
did you freak out at that
I
point? Like,
I was blown away. I was like, you can't know this about me. He said, look, son, you know us on this level of power, they know everything, right?
mm,
Call it Christ-like love, call it Buddha-like. These avatars, they know everything. Especially the full ones, the full power ones, they know everything. And for them, the way they act, it's like it's nothing for them to know all this.
so
And I was like, oh,
they're humans. They're humans that have these mystical powers, or how would you describe them?
it's a spiritual superpower, a
Uh,
superhuman, you
uh,
know, of the highest order. And I was blown away because I thought this stuff was just from fantasy and films. Like, this can't be real. But
right.
look at Star Wars, the Force. Where do you think they got that from? It's from
Yeah.
this same energetic power of consciousness and energy, which we are all made of. So he says to me, son, you don't know anything. You don't know why you're here. You don't know where you came from. You don't know where you're
Mm.
going. You don't know what happens when you die. You don't know how this planet was made. So you don't know anything. And I was like, oh my God, what have I been doing with my life? Nothing. Right?
Yeah.
He said, son, it's time to learn. You need to be humble. You need to learn. I was like, I was just like, I was in shock.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
at that point, I would be like, I would probably be running away because I'm like scared to death of, you're scared to death of like what you know deep down within your consciousness, and then you have this person that's just drawing that spirit out from you basically, and it's wow. I mean, talk about mind blowing, right? Like you couldn't have said it any better.
yeah.
So fast forward a little bit, right? Now
Mm,
you guys are doing, I know like with one of your products, you've done a lot with like obviously sleep, right? Is one of the focus. Well, wellness by and large, but like sleep, by the way, is so important. I mean, if you talk to any millionaire, billionaire, super successful person, I
mm,
guarantee you sleep will be one of the three primary things they say as contributing to their success, their long-term success, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So could you share a little bit about what you guys have done? I know you've spent years just developing this product
Yeah.
that is literally going to change the whole industry, right? Or I'm sure that's your intent with it anyway.
Well, you know, when you understand, there's a few fundamentals you need to understand when you meet these kind of beings, and you're like, okay, you're here to do something to help as many people as possible. The avatars say there's one secret of the universe that you need to know. If you don't know this, you've missed everything. I'm like, what? Unconditional love. It's the law of the universe,
Uh,
right?
some
If you don't understand that,
Bob Marley
yeah,
reimagined, or Bob Marley was the recreation of probably stuff they know.
yes,
I'm a believer
yeah.
of that, by the way.
Yes, and when I because we're not taught this in the school system, we're living our whole life off alignment with that principle.
Mm,
So, he said, unconditional love is the universal law. Everything hinges on that. Kindness, compassion, doing for others as you would have done unto you, respect, understanding, wisdom. These things are like immutable, like universal laws. You better get yourself in synchronized with that. Otherwise, you are living a lie, like I was living a lie, right?
mm,
Don't know what I'm doing, don't know how to interact with people, have a silly opinions, likes and dislikes. It's nonsense, right? So I had to learn that the atmosphere all around us is not just air. People think in school you're taught is a bit of 21% oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, but that's only a tiny fraction of the truth. The
right.
truth is far more amazing than that. This space contains in it light, electricity, and magnetism. Light, electricity, and magnetism. Every breath you take is full of light, electricity, and magnetism. right? It's not just oxygen. It's not physical. It's cosmological. It's not physical, right?
Light
Because you can live,
electricity.
yeah, you can live for 40 days without food, 4 days without water, but only 4 minutes without breath, right?
Unless you're one of those crazy magician types that like has been, doing dives and like that's the average person. Because I know some of these guys can be underwater for what 7-8 minutes, but you
Yeah,
have to really train your lungs
yeah,
to get to that place.
exactly, exactly. But for most people, 4 minutes without breath, so that you're gone. So if breath is the most important fuel for the body, why isn't anyone talking about it? Why doesn't the medical establishment, the school system teach you that properly from a young age?
Because it's not sexy enough, I guess. Right?
No,
You think
no,
about it.
because that's it. You could say that, but you could also say that if you learn how to control your breath, you start to take your own health into your own hands. And they don't want you to become powerful. They want you to rely on meds and big pharma and the money making machine behind that. So that they will never tell you. They will not tell you that harnessing your breath and electromagnetic power is the way to immunize yourself from every disease known to man.
Wow.
I've done that.
It's,
22 years, not had meds, not been to a doctor, not had an MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, nothing.
you've been healthy for 23 years.
22 years without a single med or doctor or hospital visit or GP visit, whatever.
22 years.
Yep.
Like
Now,
that's another mind-blowing thing. I mean, I think I'm healthy, and then I hear someone say that they haven't been to a doctor for 22 years, and you just realize, like, okay,
yeah.
my paradigm needs to shift a little bit here.
That's why I said to you, Justin, before we started this call, I said, look, in my life, there's a few mind-blowing things. Are you okay with that?
I'm like, yes, but I didn't really expect it to be like 22 years without a doctor. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to be you your gift. You're here on this planet to share this gift on. That's clear. That's
Yeah.
clear. And
Yeah.
that's why I was so excited to bring you on today. Now, I know you said you wanted to take me through an exercise of some sort, which
Yeah.
I subscribe to. So all our listeners and viewers out there, I'm gonna let him take me through this exercise. This is not rehearsed in any way, shape, or form. Just give me 1 second. Actually, my door just opened up. I want to shut this so we have some privacy for this.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of nervous at the same time. I'm excited
Totally
at
understand.
the same time. So take it away, Raj.
We'll do. We'll do. I'll just preface very quickly by saying that this method, the 3-3 Insomnia Hack, has helped people fall asleep within 30 to 90 seconds
Okay.
without meds, without doctors, without any psychiatric evaluations or interferences of any kind. Um, Basically, it channels endorphins from the brain, which are pain relieving hormones, serotonin, dopamine, which are feel good, happy hormones, as well as activates anandamide, which is a bliss molecule in the brain.
Okay.
All humans have a bliss molecule, so they're designed to be happy. Also activates the vagus nerve on the parasympathetic nervous system to help you rest, digest, heal, sleep deeply, recover from trauma, injury, surgery, and so on. Okay. So we'll do this method for a minute, and I'll show you how it works.
Nice. Nice.
Do you do any breathing methods at the moment, Justin?
No, but I probably should be.
It's great. Once you learn this, even if you don't do the complicated ones, do the simple ones. The simple ones are the best.
Okay.
So what we do is we check the nostril flow first. We block one nostril and breathe in and out a few times with the other one. Switch over. And can you tell me, Justin, if the ratio is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? Is it 70-30 roughly? What would you say the ratio is?
It's about 50-50 right now.
About 50-50. Perfect. Okay, good. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Justin, where 1 is terrible and 10 is amazing, what would you say you feel overall right now?
Probably about an 8.
About an 8. Perfect. Okay. So this method, in a short form, you breathe in 3 times through the nostrils, like this. So in 3 parts. And then 3 times out of the mouth with an elongated exhalation on the third exhale. So it's yeah, and that mouth, yeah, good, perfect. Again, once. That's it. Nice, gentle rhythm. Don't need to force anything. Don't need to worry about filling up maximum and then exhaling maximum. Don't worry about that. It's the gentle rhythm and the comfortable kind of gentle, like building up of that rhythm. That's the main thing. Okay.
Okay.
We're doing this with kids as young as 5 and adults as old as 85.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
they all follow the same pattern, sequence, and rhythm. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So let's do it a couple of times and then just see. Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling great. Feeling great.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So what we'll do it for a minute together with the eyes closed.
Okay.
And then I'll ask you some questions afterwards. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and go. Chin up a little bit. That's good. Nice and gentle and soft. Okay, you can stop there, Justin. Keep the eyes closed and just relax. Just relax and feel and observe what's happening within. Just relax. Now, while keeping your eyes closed, Justin, tell me what you notice and how you feel.
Um, it kind of felt like as if you ever had like a head rush
Mm-hmm.
and then followed by like an extreme release of pressure at the end of it. And then kind of like I felt the serotonin or whatever, rush.
Dopamine.
Yeah, dopamine and all that. Like I felt that surge at the very end.
Yeah, great. And do you feel any mild or gentle pressure points around the brain, around the prefrontal
Yeah,
cortex?
the front of my forehead felt a little bit, and then somewhat within the nasal, but not as much, not as pronounced there.
Okay, okay, good. And did your heart rate slow down a little bit?
Yes, it did. Very much so.
Good. And the mental chatter that we have, we call it the monkey mind in Buddhism. Uh, in the modern day, mind keeps chattering along. Has that slowed down a bit, decreased a
It was, I mean, it was almost put to a complete halt, which was beautiful for someone like me.
It's interesting because people in real estate, whether they're sort of high energy New York or Beverly Hills, we've spoken to some, and they couldn't find a way to turn off the chatter. They do the coaching with us, and they find, oh, I can actually manage this mental stress.
Interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah. Do you find that you've got kind of a growing awareness of mind beyond the body, like you've got an awareness and expansion of mind? Do you feel anything like that?
Of course, yeah. I mean, all of that's very much in tune right now.
Yeah.
Um, it felt very aligned with the universe, I guess, for lack of a
Mhm.
better term.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you feel that it was pretty quick, like surprisingly quick compared to what you might have done in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it takes me hours to fall asleep, right? So, to be able to, well, not even just to fall asleep, to quiet the mind for that matter.
Mm,
So I think that was the most interesting thing, is that the quieting of the mind was I mean, within half the time, 30 seconds probably, I
yeah,
noticed that my mind just went almost blank,
yeah,
and it was just carrying out the behavior of the breathing at that moment.
yes, exactly. You fell into a natural rhythm of the breath, which was very easy. Is it
Yes.
like that?
Yep.
Okay, you said you felt an 8 out of 10. What would you say you feel now?
Nine and a
Okay.
half.
Wow. And do you feel like you're somewhat in a flow state?
Absolutely. Yeah. I kind of feel like I'm floating right now.
Wow. And do you see how that compares when people say you need to practice a particular discipline for 10,000 hours? Csikszentmihalyi, one of the Hungarian scientists, says it takes 10,000 hours to get into flow state. But we get people into flow state within 60 seconds to 90 seconds, like that.
Yeah. It's pretty powerful stuff. I mean, I hope my listeners and my subscribers out there, especially those that subscribe and watch these podcasts, I hope they take this and they give this a shot, because it was pretty powerful. I'm definitely going to do it tonight. I'll tell you that much.
So do you see, last question, Justin, do you see how if you did it before bed, like we have a lot of people with insomnia, do you see how it could help you ease and drift off to sleep because you've quietened the mind and you can easily just relax? Do you get a sense of that?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Fine.
Whew.
Okay.
Whoa. Whoa, man. Oh, wow. I almost need a little bit just to regain my bearings here. Like, okay, we're lights, when it's like when you wake up for the first time again, in the morning, right? You wake up,
Yeah.
the lights and lights, camera, action, man. We're on a podcast here. Um, that was really amazing, Raj. I have to say thank you so much, because I feel like not only are our subscribers and listeners out there going to get something from us, I certainly did.
Yeah.
So, not that it's about me, because it's not about me, but um, I thought that was really powerful stuff. Really powerful stuff. So, I hope you listeners, if you listened in and you heard what was going on, that doesn't do it any justice. So please take a moment to go back and watch at least this part of the episode. It's absolutely gonna change your perspective on everything related to sleep anyway, and wellness, health and wellness for that matter. Raj, we're gonna shift gears for a second as I come
Mhm.
out of my sleep state here. Um, we're gonna shift gears.
It's flow state. Justin, it's flow state.
Flow state, flow state.
Yeah. You stay in flow state all day because you're very calm, peaceful, relaxed, right?
Yeah, you know what? Let's stay in flow state all day. That's
Flow
actually a
state.
good point. See, I've already learned so much from Raj today, y'all. Um, we're gonna shift gears a bit though. I'm gonna actually ask a couple interesting kind of forward-looking questions to you,
Mhm. Mhm.
that we like to ask at the end of our podcast together. So, um, here's the first little teaser, if you will. So, Raj, let's say it's your 80th birthday. Uh, you know, paint a picture for us. Who's there with you? How are you celebrating this momentous occasion? What's going on? Just set it up for us. Paint us a picture.
That's a beautiful question. For me, because one of my big goals, as you mentioned earlier, is to create 1,000 millionaires and even more.
Mhm.
Is because I want them to um, do away with their financial issues. So no pressure now. All the pressure's gone. Your family, your wife, your kids are taken care of. Your elderly parents maybe taken care of, and so on. So now you can commit to a social cause, something, whether it's drug addiction or alcoholism or some kind of other issue that you want to help solve. It could be battered
Mhm.
women, it could be orphan children, whatever it is. I would love those people to be around me at that age, because they would have known that I poured myself into them to help their lives be better, happier, and gentler, so they could treat everyone else nicely, and then they could extend that benefit as a community to help more and more people in our own country and further, across the world. So that's how I see my scenario at 80, if that makes
That's amazing. That's amazing. I really love that, and I love that you're kind of doing a montage of sorts. Like teeing up, and for people to see that part of yourself, right? Because we all want to leave a legacy in a different way, right? And
sense.
so that brings me to the second question, which is exactly around legacy. Um, Imagine it's your last day on Earth, planet Earth, okay? And you can only preserve three items in your time capsule. You got this little time capsule that'll carry you or your memories or these three items with you. They'll carry on forever. What are those items and why?
Interesting. Um, I would have to say one of them is going to be a book. Can I show it to you?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. This book was written by an incredible avatar master of wisdom from India. He's actually the guru of the one who influenced Steve Jobs heavily.
Uh,
Yeah,
I've
very
seen.
famous for it.
I feel like I've seen like
Yeah,
images of this gentleman before.
yes, 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 because they're great avatars who are shaping the evolution of this planet. That's why. And they've heavily influenced me. When I was in India, I was in their homes and their ashrams, their spiritual centers. So their electromagnetic energy got into me.
Uh, how
That's
neat!
it.
How
Yeah,
neat!
yeah. So, um, so I would say the books have helped me connect to that energy. Um, ah, what else would I say? I think a picture of my mother.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
sweet.
picture of my mother, because she was the one who took me to India for the first time. And if she hadn't done that at 18, I don't know if I would have met an avatar that young. So,
Probably
you know,
not, because I mean, let's be honest, Western society over here in America, we're behind when it comes to all the stuff that you've been talking about today.
yeah. So I would say the books and a picture of my mum. But beyond that, it's just the wanting to share everything that's come from that with the rest of humanity is a huge ambition of mine.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's hope that your legacy carries on forever, Raj, because you're definitely a special person and with a really, really unique message out there for the world. All right, here's our third and final question. And I know we didn't talk much about real estate today, but I would be curious your take on this, and I'm sure our listeners would be as well.
Mhm.
So obviously, this podcast is titled "Real Estate Rockstars." It's because we like being rock stars from different industries, like your industry on. But what is your definition of what a real estate rock star is? How would you define a real estate rock star?
That's a beautiful question. I would say, like, setting the standard of what you want your dream life to be, and have your home reflect those values.
Mm,
So
wow.
if your mission, yeah, so if your mission in life is to help elevate consciousness or remind people of the beautiful things in life and heaven, make your earthly home reflect those heavenly values
Oh,
with the colors, the furnishings, the ideas. Maybe you have some images, statues, and art, reflecting what you represent, what you stand for in life.
mm.
That's what I would say is the rock star.
I love it. And I love that you tied in physical environment. We didn't talk too much today about physical environment, but your physical environment is so important. Y'all might see behind Raj here. Could you just talk about what's right behind you? I'm sure that's part of your physical environment. Yeah.
Oh yeah. These images, they're cosmological in nature. I mean, they
Mhm.
remind humans of their eternal spiritual nature. And because we're energy and consciousness, these are the only two things that exist as constants in the universe, right?
Oh,
So if you believe in the Buddhist and Vedic yogic philosophies of reincarnation, this is not the first time we've been here. We come and go constantly,
absolutely.
right? So
Absolutely.
we're consciousness and energy. So this represents Shiva, is a yogi who sits in quiescence, meaning he's always aware of the transcendent reality that we're not flesh and bone, that we're something far more than that. So
Very, very cool. Very cool. Raj, where can our listeners and subscribers, connect and find you, connect with you, learn more about what you're doing?
sure. So they can go to keepfitkingdom.com. Keepfitkingdom.com. If they go there, they'll see information on the 3-3 Insomnia Hack, and there's a product you can buy and download. It's got a lot of great condensed information. We can learn a lot in a very short period. It's like $97 or something. It's an introductory price at the moment, so I'd recommend definitely have a look at that. Go through that process. There's lots of testimonials as well on the website from Oracle, Novartis, the NHS, Philips Electronics, lots of therapists from around the world on there. People can WhatsApp us through the website. They can email us. We're happy to help.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Raj, thank you so much for joining us today. It was an absolute blessing to have you on here.
Thank
For those of you that tuned in, hopefully you took feverish notes. I hope you connect with Raj further. He has some really amazing techniques and tactics to share with you. So there you have it, another wonderful episode of the Real Estate Rockstars podcast. Again, I'm your host, Justin Nimergood. We're signing off. We'll be back with you again, same time, same day next week. Thanks, everyone.
you.
All right.